Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Psych, it's Janae. It's your girl Janae. And listen, I know as the days get longer and that cold settles in, I know many of us start to feel that seasonal slump. Today I want to share my take on seasonal depression, also known as seasonal affective disorder, which I would reference or refer to as SAD disorder throughout this video. And I also want to share with you guys how we can regulate ourselves throughout this season with some actionable steps. SAD is a form of depression that recurs seasonally, usually when in the fall and winter months, due to decreased sunlight, which disrupts our internal body clock, our serotonin levels, our melatonin production. Symptoms can look like low energy, oversleeping, overeating, withdrawal from some social activities, and it affects about 5 to 10% of people in the US. More so in northern latitudes, northeast, and some of these people, hey, they look just like me. It's so funny because the other day my friend asked me, like, do you experience seasonal depression? And I told her no. I experience it, but it does not take over me. Meaning that, yes, I don't have the energy during this season. I do tend to overeat. I wish I had space to like oversleep because I would do it all day. But truth be told is, I think I've gone through this season so much that I am now in a place where I know myself, and that has been my most powerful tool in combating the SAD season is self-awareness. We're not avoiding this season. We're going to get through it. I want to encourage you guys to embrace those tough moments because they help you grow. I'm going to give you a few steps on how it helped me. So like I said, self-awareness is what helps me. I find self-awareness to be the foundation of anything when it comes to your personal growth and really trying to break through barriers that you find maybe some challenges that clearly they reoccur, they stop you in your tracks, and they kind of just take you for a spin a little bit. So what self-awareness does in this type of season helps you know what is actually inviting depression in. So for instance, when it comes to me, I know I'm tipping into that season of depression when there's not a lot of sunlight, because what happens is that I tend to isolate myself. I don't go outside as much. And then also because I'm not going outside as much, I'm getting more lazy and I'm skipping out on my routine. When I skip out on routine, I am a mess, very disheveled. So all of that actually it really impacts my mood. And the SAD season also, it has been proven that it does alter your mood because of the serotonin levels being reduced. So when I think about that, just in a clinical or psychological aspect, a way that you can combat that is going through like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, because I do find that cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the things that it focuses on is trying to get you to change and reframe your thought process, like how you think negatively and changing that into positive thoughts. And in addition to that, it encourages you to track your different moods, right? So as you're tracking these moods, what it'll do is it can help you identify when you're about to have a negative thought and trying to jump in front of that, right? What I think could help with this is like journaling, maybe talking to someone about how you're feeling, reflect on what you've done in the past to kind of get you through this type of season. What works for you? This type of approach can kind of help you turn those opportunities into moments where you can kind of prevent yourself from going into that SAD season or letting that take over you. Another thing that really helps for me is creating schedules and wellness routines. Like I said, once I'm thrown off my routine, I'm just a little angry person. And what schedules or routines help me do, it allows me to get ahead by blocking out time for myself. And since I have blocked out time for myself, I don't live the day-to-day guilt with thinking that or feeling that I have not had any time for myself. So that's what a schedule and a routine does for me. What science says about routines and how it combats the SAD season is that it helps stabilize sleep and activity levels, which are often thrown off by seasonal depression. So usually when these seasons change, especially, you know, we get daylight savings now, it's getting dark at 4:30, and we're just lazy so early in the day, or we're just exhausted so early in the day. What the routines help us to do is to put in that time to try and actually build our energy, put in that time to get in enough rest. I've already expressed to you guys how I swear by Google Calendar. I literally have my bedtime in there. I have time when I work out, and what it does is just, I don't even have to think about what I should do or when I should do it. It is already there. So that is how routines really help me, is that it's taken away from me having to think about when I should fit something in my schedule, and it makes a concrete schedule for me, and all I have to do is commit. If I don't want to get into that moment where I'm feeling guilt, or I just feel like overly tired and I don't have these energy levels and I want to change that, put that type of thing in the calendar so that I can commit to it. So just try and do that. Set a daily routine, prioritize your sleep, use planners or celebrate the small wins, and do little things. It could be like a 10-minute meditation. It could be maybe a 10-minute prayer, or just going outside and walk around a block for 15 minutes. Start with small, actionable, realistic steps so that you know that even if it's just 15 minutes out your day, that is 15 minutes that you commit to yourself. Enjoying in nature and hobbies is also another way to try and get ahead of that trigger of the depression, because for me, I love nature. I love being outside. It is something that comes very natural to me. I love running and all of those things, but it's very hard in the winter when it's like 20 degrees, 30 degrees, and you just don't want to be outside. It's really hard to try and get that same feeling. So how do you supplement that? Also, how do you do things outside that don't require you to spend a lot of money, that may not require you to have to call every friend to link up with you? What I find for myself is to just do small things that promote mindfulness, find some hobbies that align with what I really would like to do. You can do things like plants, have some indoor plants. That's a new commitment. It's by the light, right? Keep them by the window. Commit to watering them however frequently it has to be done. Read a little bit, which I love doing in the winter. I love reading. Do some yoga, maybe some, I don't know, find some exercises on YouTube. Find a new hobby. I like to cook way more in the winter because, you know, it's cold, so I love the oven being on. I love the stove being on. I find recipes each week. Find a very low maintenance type of recipe that'll make me feel good. Again, you can do short walks, and I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You know what I have been doing that is free but gets you outdoors? I mean, I only did like once or twice, but go to open houses on the weekend. It's motivating. It inspires you. You run into different people. I like to just go into different houses that has open houses for the weekend, and it's a fun little hobby. Or I started back roller skating, so I'll roller skate around the block. And then also you can do things like, if you're into hiking, do that. Just find some free activities. There's Facebook groups for different towns and neighborhoods. Maybe join one so you can see what's going on in your neighborhood. That's free, that's accessible. The point is just find ways to make joy accessible to you. Find ways where you know you can grab joy easily. You can get back to that feeling of feeling joyful, finding gratitude in life and just appreciating it. It will help you stay grounded. It truly, truly will. Another thing about the winter that really changes, and especially if you're going to be tiptoeing into the sad season, is community. Community looks way different in the winter than it does in the summer. I think in the winter it's harder to stay connected because everyone kind of does isolate themselves. We get busier. You got to start implementing the schedule for the children. The job is way more demanding in the winter as you go into like Q4 season and trying to crush goals. If you're a student like me, you know, around October, November is midterm season. It gets very, very tough. And it's just a lot of isolating and people very focused at the end of the year just for even personal reasons. So when you think about community during this sad season, you want to think about people that are actually, again, accessible, people that are also low maintenance, that you can link up with, talk to without having to spend tons of money, without adding more things on your plate to do or being an extra burden to you. Everything doesn't have to be a big hangout. You want to embrace the discomfort that you're feeling in this season. So you do want to peel back layers so that you can grow. For me, like right now, I don't really connect that much with my friends. It's so funny, my homegirl called me like 2 weeks ago and she's like, I hate when you're in school because girl, you just never call me. And I don't. I'm in straight like focal mode and I'm just very narrow-minded and really in my tunnel vision that I don't reach out. But I do find like being connected online, even social media, I do like it, being mindful of who I'm following, who I'm connecting with, what's on my FYP, just keeping me motivated. I like to follow people who are goal driven and they just accomplish a lot of their goals. You know, the New York City Marathon just passed, so I've been watching a lot of those videos, keeping myself motivated. I even told myself I'm gonna sign up for one, and I am. So just maybe finding online community that works for you, that you could truly connect with, and just keeping in touch with those people, because sometimes community could also be unfamiliar. It doesn't have to be the people that you're very used to. Finding new community could also be very advantageous for you in this season. I find that connecting with people I absolutely don't know actually makes me feel good. I feel more inspired because everyone's story is so different. And if I don't know them, and still seeing that they are still reaching for the stars, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel like, yeah, why not, you know? Really helps me though during this season to just find community even online. And so those just a few ways that I think that could help you in the sad season. It would be remiss of me if I don't mention that, you know, the season is tough for many reasons. Like I said, it's fourth quarter. So now you're really being critical about yourself, where you stand compared to the beginning of the year, and just probably gauging how much time you have left to accomplish the goals you set out for yourself, and you might be beating yourself up. So that could send you into depression. Then on top of that, like I said, it's a high performing season for work, for even school, where you're being tested. You have to really outperform or just perform in general, and it's just nonstop for this last quarter of 3 months, and it can feel exhausting. And when you add that to it being dark at 4:30 p.m., being 30 degrees, yeah, it kind of does make you feel even more isolated, like you're driving yourself crazy, and you don't have these consistent levels of serotonin to just drive you feeling joy and feeling good. You actually got to put the effort to getting there. It's harder. And then holiday season, things may be already hard for you, and now you got to think about how you're putting food on the table for Thanksgiving. Are you going to be flying out for Christmas? How many gifts do you have to buy for the holidays? What are you going to do for New Year's? It's a lot to truly consider. And so now you just have to really be mindful of these things so that you can avoid falling victim of seasonal depression. But these are some tools that you can have in your back pocket, so that if you meet seasonal depression, you can just battle it and be equipped and just go through it. Don't even avoid it. Just hit it straight on, because that's how you build character. That's how you become stronger, a better person. And trust me, this happens, like we said, every year. It's reoccurring. So you want to just be able to have the tools in your arsenal each year and be confident with it, you know? Seasonal depression does not have to define you in the winter. With self-awareness, routines, hobbies, redefined community, we can definitely move through it and grow. If the symptoms do feel overwhelming, I am definitely going to recommend that you seek professional help. There's plenty of therapy that can help and make a big difference. So you tell me, what is one step that you'll take this week to help you out? Share in the comments. Let's support each other. Make sure you like and subscribe. But yeah, I'm rooting for you. I know it sounds scary, but you can beat seasonal depression head on. Just use all the tools and find ways and just get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. Don't let it get ahead of you. Okay? Bye, y'all. Thanks for stopping by the office. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.